had this dream last night that my testicles were actually saying things to me. Stuff like, the country is coming out of recession. And Bad Boys Inc. are quite a good band. I said, you're talking bollocks. Which means that my genitals have just been simmering all night. So now, great, I can look forward to a whole day swollen and sodden with lust. OK, I'm in the bank. I'm doused in the cool, air-conditioned atmosphere. I can think straight now.
Do you want it in 5s or 10s?
I want it doggy fashion against the cash machine now! The thing to think about in this state is not Jimmy Hill or David Mellor. It's Channel 4 sex programmes. Because the one thing you learn from sex programmes is that experts on sex are, without fail, Quasimodos, right? There they are saying, well, of course, there's nothing more beautiful than loving, consenting sex between two adult partners. And you always expect them to add, apparently. I think I shouted that disgusting thing out now because I once saw Claire Rayner on a sex programme advising couples to do it doggy fashion. Doggy fashion? Surely you mean elephant fashion, Claire? My parents might have created the problem in the first place. I've always been hyper-aware of sex since I was a child. I think this is because I had a room next to my parents' bedroom, and my dad just used to make the most abominable noises during sex. For years, I thought there was a wounded walrus in my parents' bedroom.
Hi, and welcome to the Good Sex in the Head. We're so outrageous talking about it on the telly guide. And with me, as ever, is our resident sexpert, Dr. Lindsay Moore. Tonight, we're talking about orgasms. Dr. Lindsay.
Well, I always think the best thing to do is always make sure you're completely relaxed. And another thing, I always try and look especially sexy for my partner. I always wear split crotch panties, and I haven't even got a crotch.
Lou Reed, the poet of New York.
But she never lost her head, even when she was giving head. Hey, giving head, that's really rude. I know lots of other rude words too. Bra, pants, knickers, and I saw some prizes once. God, I'm streetwise. Do-do, 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 do-do. Hey, that's a rude word too. Doo-doo.
Rock stars always try and make out they're the people most drenched in sexuality, like Prince. Although I think Prince went a bit far with sexy motherfucker. And then he tried to get away with it by calling it sexy MF. Like people are going to say, of course, he means sexy Michael Fish, doesn't he? And so many rock stars try really hard to suggest that they are in some way sexually ambivalent. But one of them is just trying too hard. Brett Anderson from Suede just so desperately wants you to think that he's gay. Whoops! Tucky! Shut that door! It'll ride up with where? What else do they say here? Chase me! I'm free! What a gay day! Welcome to Going Live!
Well, hello. We're becoming quite familiar, aren't we? You and old Jarvisy Wavesy. I have to tell you, the other day I had a 5-hour wait at Victoria coach station.
Eventually, I became so bored, I decided to just get on a coach. Check out the action at Lime Street, I thought. It has become my unshakable conviction that most lesbians think I'm Chinese. I'm sure they do. I'm sure most lesbians think I am Chinese. For example, I'm sitting on the tube, say, and there are a couple of lesbian women sitting opposite me, and I find myself trying to imagine them performing their sapphic rites. Oh, God. Later I may cruise the homeless of Soho once again. Well, hello. And what brought you down onto the street? The likes of me, you say? Oh, come, that's something of a generalization. Don't worry, studio audience. Edgy silences are meat and drink to me. You're merely reminding me of some of my greatest moments. In the morning, after particularly late nights, as I wend my way home through the now daylight streets of Soho, some ordinary, common people are already on the streets. And sometimes I like to amuse myself by watching them. The other day, for example, I noticed a troop of sixth form Boy Scouts had got themselves lost in Soho. Oh, God. That must be terrible. I availed myself of a nearby awning and watched their predicament for a few moments until one of their number said, "Why don't we ask directions of that Chinese gentleman over there?" I grow weary of you now.
Robert, I haven't told you this so far, but I'm planning to do a piece at the end of tonight's show. It's going to be a bit of a departure.
Hey, you mean a new type of dick joke?
No, it's about when someone I was very close to died.
Oh.
You know, Robert, sometimes life isn't comedy. Sometimes it isn't even tragedy. It's simply tragedy. Yes, there's laughs. Ha 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 ha.
Ho 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 ho.
Yeah.
Hee hee.
Yeah, but where do we go after that? Nowhere. I've been to the end of the pier and now, hey, I'm diving in. So I'm planning to get in a really good director, shoot it on 35mm, should look really classy. And I've asked for the rights to use a particular Eurythmics song on the soundtrack. The point is, all this could cost a bit. So from now on, is it okay if we go easy on the budget? Robert? I mean, it really means a lot to me.
No, hey, you know, of course, definitely. When are you doing this piece?
It's just after the bit you do that begins Another Night In on My Own.
Right.
Another Night In on My Own, okay? And then I shall be doing the end piece of the entire series. I shall be walking over the hot coals of truth without my clown shoes.
To try and catch a rare glimpse of the nocturnal habits of our wily friend, the urban fox, we've had to put in selfless and painstaking hours of waiting and watching, even though there's never been any foxes in a 20-mile radius of this area ever. As a
Yeah, there she is. She's there.
controlled experiment to see whether a fox would appear sooner or later. The BBC may want to know where the £500,000 we've spent in 3 months filming here has gone. But it's all worth it. For that magical moment when, framed in the moonlight... Oh, what's that doing there? What is it? What the f*** is that doing there? Get the dog out of it. Throw a rock at it or something. What the... Oh, she's gone now. Right.
3 months' work.
Down the bloody way! My life,
Came home and there was an answer phone message from Rachel waiting for me. And I never more wished that I had total consciousness, you know, a complete God's eye, holistic view of the world. I mean, I'm trying to work out whether me and her are right for each other. Because, like, there's a lilting tone to a voice on the answer phone. I'm thinking, you know, is that affection? Is it wariness? Or is it just a yodeling great-grandmother? So I just keep trying to replay and play the message again and again, hoping that eventually I'll have some flash of insight by some grace of God and I'll know whether or not me and Rachel are right for each other.
Hello, Rob, this is Rachel. I'm just returning your call.
What do you think? Calling you to my bed. Call. I can't wait till my life gets legit, you know, because gets, you know, regular. Because a picaresque life is full of humiliations. You know, like that time that, you know, you think you're in there and you don't have any Johnnies and everywhere's shut and all the machines are empty and you wait until dawn, but it's a featherlight freeze bank holiday. Oh, God, there's nothing more humiliating than having to go round someone's house to scrounge a Johnny. Oh, God, I'm going to have to do it.
I don't know why the young people today complain about using condoms against HIV.
I wonder if I could borrow Geronimo.
This was the design to be used again and again, or in my case, once in 1936.
Yeah, sure it was, yeah. Thank you. Oh, God, that was horrible. But it wasn't going to stop me. No way. Oh, no, I'm going to have to put my dick where Ted Brewster's dick has been. Oh, that's horrible, that's disgusting. And I've got to put Geronimo on as well. Oh, no, it's split. I don't believe it, it's split. Oh, God, what if she's pregnant? Abortions aren't cut and dried. A friend of mine, she had an abortion and she said it was so clumsily performed that not only was it incredibly painful at the time, but it now means that she can never have children again. I mean, man, what do you say when someone tells you that? You know, anything philosophical would be glib. So I just said, God, I'm sorry to hear that, but you got to understand I hadn't done that many then. I didn't have all the right tools. Some of the tools were a bit rusty. In retrospect, I wouldn't have used the front forks of a bicycle again. And Ted's going to be really pissed that I've broken it. I don't know why, you know, like he was ever going to use it again. Oh, hello, is Mr. Brewster not in?
No, I'm sorry, but he sadly passed away.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. What, old age, stroke, heart attack?
No, AIDS.
Ladies and gentlemen, as this is the last show in the present series, would you please welcome our very special guest star, the Queen of Rock and Roll, Miss Susie Quattro, yeah!
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show. Did you get a copy of the song?
Yeah, I did. It was Then He Kissed Me, but it's kind of an odd choice, isn't it?
Oh, really? Well, anyway, the idea is that we sing this song, and then at the end of the song, because it's a song about kissing, we do this little kiss at the end. I mean, it's really the director's idea, not mine. Is that okay?
Yeah, I guess so. Now, listen, the kiss, it's because of the song, right?
Yeah, I go sort of, we go, and then he kissed me, and then we go into this long clinch, and this is the embarrassing thing. I think they want us to sort of hold the kiss for quite a bit so that they can do a soft dissolve thing on the shot.
Are you up to it? Cue the music. Well, he walked up to me and he asked me if I wanted to dance. And he looked kind of nice, so I thought I might take a chance.
this all right now? Miss Quattro, you'll be able to kiss me now. Is this all right?
Yeah. Listen, I was just checking these lyrics. You changed a line here. It says, and then he kissed me on the tits.
Yeah.
Fine.
Excuse me one moment, Miss Susie Quattro. Yes!
Each time I saw her, I couldn't wait to see her again. I wanted to let her know that she was more than a friend.
Excuse me. How much did she cost?
I don't know offhand.
My personal filmed piece at the end of the show. Well, I'm terribly sorry about this, Miss Quattro, but you'll have to go. I'm sorry about this, because I'm hoping to do this personal piece at the end of the show.
I see, and that would be a sort of fitting high point on which to end the series, having, as it were, mimetically stretched the form of the sketch show.
Well, entirely, you see, and you just appreciate this.
Didn't know just what to do. I whispered I love you. He said that he loved me too. Then he kissed me on the tits.
I know this sounds stupid, but I've become convinced that Emma is having an affair with Rob. I know you think I'm wrong, but I've accused her, and she denies it as if I'm definitely wrong, but...
Oh.
Oh, yes! I'm lying naked under a spotlight with a nun wearing a strap-on marrow demonstrating lesbian sex in a Martian spaceship!
As you do.
Oh, I love it when you say that. Spread some jam on me. Homemade damson.
Excuse me, Mr. Newman. I did have a word with Mr. Bloodybub about having more speaking parts and not being the stunt double, but nothing seems to have happened. I am a character actor of some standing. Well, certainly in the Weston-super-Mare area.
I understand, and, we appreciate that you're only doing it for your daughter, but there's the money.
But her dialysis machine is very expensive to run. I don't understand why, because for £100,000 plus interest to the loan sharks, well, I expected her to come home with a room full of machinery. But it's marvellous. It's quite a small machine, battery-powered. Only makes a slight buzzing noise. And here's the queer thing, Mr. Newman. It looks like nothing so much as a plastic penis.
What, you mean a bit like a vibrator?
Yes. Only this is a dialysis machine and...
Anyway, I've got to go now because I'm just playing myself as an older man on occasion of my Ruby wedding anniversary.
But Mr. Newman, I can play you. I played you in that scene where you were run over by a hovercraft.
Okay, hold on a sec. Is that all right if Albert does me in the next scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can do the next scene. Okay.
Thank you. I won't let you down. Well, this will help pay for you
Isn't this lovely, darling?
And to think, darling, I almost didn't go into that bar. And we would never have met. And now we've been together for 40 years. And do you know how happy... Oh, God.
Now, there is no need for 40% of all Ruby wedding anniversary accidents to happen. Now, there was no need for that to happen.
I am the poltergeist, and the great thing about me is that no one knows I'm here, and so I can wreak my dark work in secret, leaving the mortals to puzzle as to how and why and where.
I'm off on tour. Can you feed the cat, please?
I'm not doing that. I'm a poltergeist. I have lifted coffins out of the earth, dwelt in thrilling regions of ribbed ice, hurled my soul in fractured atoms against the wind, fought fiery doors against the angel Gabriel. Here, pussy. What did your last slave die of? That's what I say.
As an epilogue to this story, Julius underwent an experimental operation which doctors felt might normalise his features. A blood transfusion with a very serious person. Maybe because deep down in Julius's core of being there is something fundamentally and unalterably stupid, Julius had an allergic reaction.
I do not look stupid. I do not look stupid.
Helen, meanwhile, has found love with a normal builder and was recently voted Pin-Up of the Year by the magazine Readers' Wives. But Julius, shunned by the restricted seriousness support group for selling out, spends his days alone in his flat, despairing of ever finding a girlfriend, and thinking back over the few moments of passion and tenderness he enjoyed with Helen.
Good evening and welcome to History Today. Tonight we will be endeavouring to establish a cogent idea of British civic life, our institutions and so forth, from pre-Roman times to our own. Professor Lewis, I wonder if you would agree with radical Celtic historians that the notion of a centralised bureaucracy is essentially alien to the British character.
Indeed, although the essential flux which informs as nebulous a term as character means that this theory topples over like a fallen tree. And that's what you did when you had your BCG.
I don't care about anything you say today, because tomorrow I'm going to Marine World in Brighton.
Yeah, in a special bus. And you can't even go to the toilet on your own. And the driver's on, like, strict instructions not to go over 3 miles per hour in case you get scared.
Even if that were the case, which it is not, it still remains the fact that it is I who am going to Brighton Marine World and not you. So, if we may return to the discussion in hand, I wonder if I might inquire, Professor Lewis, whether, all things considered, you have been to Brighton Marine World. British civic development changes course radically with the Great Fire of London, after which there was the opportunity to restructure and recodify the way records were kept. So that as tiny a spark in as lowly a place as Pudding Bowl Lane...
That's where you have your haircut.
It is not until the 19th century...
And you eat your dinner in snot and bogey pie, haven't you?
You need special medicine to live. I'm the one going to Brighton Marine World. It is, of course, possible to achieve an exact dating for such artefacts. This coin, for example, is quite clearly inscribed with the letters CLMXII.
I have observed the inscription.
Which is your best ever spelling of climax.
See a whelk stall outside a South London pub?
Oh, yes, yes.
And it's got to be about 5 o'clock on a hot Saturday afternoon. And all that's left on the display tray are a few sorry-looking jellied eels, one whelk, and a couple of dried up, shriveled prawns.
I have observed such a roadside establishment.
That's Brighton Marine World. Another night in on my own. I'll just play that answer phone message from Rachel again.
Hello, Rob, this is Rachel. I'm just returning your call.
Because now you see there's hope.
No f***ing way.
Oh, it's got a bit tense there. I'll just do some painting to calm down. And so, faced with all this futility, I decided to go to Acapulco.
So, as I was saying, another night in on my own, and it occurred to me that there is a world elsewhere. The hidden aquamarine landscape. Shit, anyway, so this bloke goes into a pub and orders a cheese and pickle sandwich.
Here I am in cyberspace, everybody.
I remember the last time I saw my first love's face. Even though it was over a decade ago, it still haunts me. There in the hospital grounds, her face. An infinitely gentle, infinitely suffering thing. I remember I walked back towards her. People say I'm a cynic and a sneerer, but if they only knew how tender, delicate and poetic this moment was. Oh, David, I know I'm not going to survive this operation, and I know you know that too. Yes, I feel like the world has stopped. Oh, God, don't leave me. Just then, like a hint of the vast sweeping forces of the eternal scheme of wise nature, it began softly to rain.
Slide guitar.